All right, so you finally want to learn how to go and approach women, specifically women you find attractive, but you're stuck with cold approach anxiety, right? Every time you see a girl that you find attractive, you freeze up, you can't talk yourself out of it, you never go and you talk to her. Or like maybe you have the courage to go and make the approach, but then once you're in the conversation, you freeze. Your nerves are too high, you forget what to say, or you can't think of anything to say at all.
Oh man, he's frozen solid!
And then you mess up the whole situation, right? And then there's other guys who like used to have game back in the day, but then they had too many like bad relationships or harsh rejections, and they have all this scar tissue and insecurity, and they can't figure out how to get back in the game. I'm going to share with you some mental adjustments you need to make before you even start trying to cold approach. And then once we get those mental adjustments down, I'm going to give you some practical, actionable tasks, things that you have to go and do one step at a time that will layer on the confidence, that will help you slowly build up until you get to the point where you're going and talking to a beautiful woman and getting her number and asking her on a date. Let's dive into all of it. So before we start approaching, we need to make these mental adjustments, right? And the first of which is we need to be truthful with ourselves about how confidence is developed. There's this fake rule, and the fake rule is that you have to feel confident before you attempt to do the new scary thing. Or in this situation, like a lot of guys think, okay, if I like consume all this information and I practice really hard and like watch all these YouTube videos endlessly, then I'll start to feel confident and then I can go attempt to talk to women or do cold approaches, right? But the truth is that that isn't how confidence works. You don't get confidence from staying in this practice loop, this preparation loop. That's never gonna happen. If you are waiting for feelings of confidence to come before doing what's important to you, you'll be waiting forever. Instead, what we need to do is develop the skills and experience to actually feel confident. And this is true for everything in life, like even a little kid, right? At some point, you put a little kid on a bike and it has training wheels. And it's like, okay, like this is fun with the training wheels. There's like zero risk, right? That's basically what you do if you sit at home and just watch YouTube videos about talking to girls. You have the training wheels on. There's no risk. It feels kind of fun. Like, you know, mentally in your head, you're like, all right, I'm getting there. But the truth is, at some point, the training wheels have to come off. You have to be willing to take that risk and get those bruises and get those scrapes and learn and adjust and get better over time. So how do we layer on the skill set? How do we slowly develop that confidence in a way that's safe? Well, let's dive into that now. The first thing I want you to do to start developing this cold approach confidence is get comfortable with sustaining eye contact. I'm talking about looking at strangers in passing. If you make eye contact with another person, you hold the eye contact until they look away. Nice guys will find this super weird. To them, it'll feel very like creepy and foreign. Like my one-on-one coaching clients literally say that. When I give them this exercise, they're like, well, man, I don't know. I don't want to be creepy. Well, it's like, then just don't be creepy, bro. Like you don't want to stand in the room and stare at this girl and just stare and wait for her to look back at you. Like that's not what I'm talking about here. It's more of like in passing, right? If you're walking past a girl and she looks at you and you look at her, hold that eye contact until she looks away. And honestly, you can even run this exercise with men too, because a lot of you nice guys, they're like shy and meek and nervous around other people or in social situations. You do the same thing with dudes, right? You know you do. Like, be honest with yourself. Every time you make eye contact with another guy, you probably look away right away. Like you're the first one. And like, guys, this is still training wheels on, by the way. Like there's zero risk by doing the eye contact thing. Just to stay in eye contact with strangers in passing. Or like you walk into a coffee shop, there's a cute barista, you look over, you make eye contact with her, hold that eye contact. Or if you're at a restaurant, wherever, at the mall, hold eye contact, make the other person look away first, just get comfortable doing that. And then we move on to step 2. Step 2 is delivering compliments that are close-ended. Once again, very safe place to be that is still getting you warmed up to talking to strangers. So, close-ended compliment, what does that mean? It means you're not trying to start a conversation at all. And if you do this and people don't feel like you're trying to leverage like a conversation with them, then you're gonna get nothing but a warm response, right? You're walking by a girl, hey, I love your hair, have a great day. Or you're walking by some dude, yo man, awesome shoes, have a nice day, right? You are not trying to hold a conversation here. You're just delivering the compliment. And look, anybody that receives these compliments, as long as they're not sexual or related to the body, and as long as they're genuine, they're going to respond warmly to you. Most people, the apprehension and the coldness, it doesn't come unless they think, oh man, you're pulling me away from what I was preoccupied doing. But simple compliment passing, super easy. It's going to generate warm vibes. It's going to get you used to talking to strangers. And then once you do that, you can move on to step number 3. Okay, step number 3 is open-ended compliments. We're just adding on one little extra bit here, okay? So now we're saying the compliment and then we're asking a follow-up question. Hey, I love that fit. Where did you grab it? Hey, I love that hair. Where do you go, right? Like, whatever it is, guys, at this point, it literally doesn't matter because you're not even trying to hold a conversation. You're not trying to make a new friend. You're not trying to get a phone number. We are just getting familiar with walking up to a stranger in the moment without hesitation, giving them a nice compliment, and then asking one open-ended question. And then that's it. Like we're closing the conversation off right there. We are just trying to get familiar, right? We are layering on this confidence and this familiarity with going and talking to strangers. All right, step number 4 is we are now going to go and talk to strangers, and we are going to set a goal of a 30-second conversation. It can be anything. Literally, we are still in practice mode. We are still training wheels on right now, guys. We are just going up to strangers. Hey, how you doing? Love the hair. Where do you go? Oh, really? What part of town is that in? Okay, great. Well, I hope you have a nice day, right? Just like whatever you need to do to get to 30 seconds. Just get used to having your brain comfortable in those moments. The synapses are no longer freezing, but they are firing because you've been here, because you're not risking anything. You're not trying to get a number. You're not trying to do anything except get to 30 seconds. And then step 5 is extending that to 90 seconds. Okay, so step 5, we're trying to have 90-second conversations because the 30-second window is just to get you used to being able to ask a few back and forth questions. But after 30 seconds, this is when people can start to get cold. They can get a little apprehensive because you're pulling them away from what they were doing, right? Most people are very busy. They don't want to be distracted. They're focused on something, especially people walking down the street. They're going somewhere. They have somewhere to be. So when you stop them in the middle of what they're doing and it goes past that 30-second mark, well, now there starts to be this feeling of coldness, this feeling of apprehension. What does this person want from me? They are a stranger. I don't know who they are. We as human beings are conditioned to be cold and apprehensive to strangers, guys. So the 90-second goal is meant to get you used to that. Get familiar with that, right? Because it's not personal. It's just the natural way that people react. So if we can get to 90 seconds, chances are you were able to get over that hump, and now you're getting used to people kind of giving you that cold look, that apprehensive face that says, I don't know if I really want to be talking to you right now. We have to get used to that because when you start talking to pretty women, you're going to get that a lot. Anyone that tells you you're not is full of shit, okay? It happened to me when I met my wife. I literally met her on a cold approach, walking down the strip in Las Vegas, and she wanted nothing to do with me for like a good 3 or 4 minutes. And then eventually I was playful and charming and loose, and she could see that, you know, her apprehension wasn't throwing me off of my center. And then all of a sudden she came around. So 90 seconds, step 5, 90-second conversations. Get used to that longer back and forth. Get used to that apprehension. All right, and then finally, step number 6, we are going for the phone number close. We are taking the training wheels off. It is time to go and start talking to girls with the intention of getting the phone number, right? You've gotten all of these steps layered in. And so, you know, honestly, what I would do is I would set a number for each step. So let's say like we're back at step 1, eye contact. Set a goal. I need to hold eye contact with 25 people until they look away first. I need to do that 25 times. By the end of 25, it'll feel like nothing. And then you move on to step number 2, and you do that 25 times or 50 or however long it takes, right? Whatever is realistic for you. But this is how you're going to layer it on. And then finally, you got to go for the phone number. Now, if you still don't feel confident, it might be because you don't know how to be playful or charming or witty, or how to build that attraction with women in the moment, right? How to steer that conversation away from where you're from, what do you do for work, to like bantering back and forth, laughing, like taking jabs and making her laugh and smile, right? If you don't know how to do that, I got a free course for you in my school community. You can check it out. Click the link in the description. But if you liked and enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel, Like it, drop a comment, let me know what you think. My name is KJ Harlow. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.